feeling that you all know where I am exactly. Maybe because I put it in the title. But this is Akihabara. And this is ground zero for the tourism return to Japan. Maybe, possibly. We're going to walk around and find out and ask ourselves the question if tourists are actually going to return here to Japan after 2.5 years of not being able to come to Japan. A weird entry policy that was the strictest in the world. Wouldn't allow anybody to come in, including citizens, for a little bit of the time. Are people still angry, upset? Should the policy be dumped? It has been. How you doing, everybody? It is a cloudy, kind of a crummy day here. It's probably gonna rain today, but the weather is the temperature's not too bad. There's the Soba line going by there. So it seems like a nice day to be in Akihabara. I just happened to be in the area anyways because Kanai asked me, my wife, to take pictures of her students at a place not too far away. And by the way, I don't have any You Found Me cards, so don't find me. not if you're coming for that. All right, let's take a look, and we're going to just ask this question. And I'm very curious about what you all think in the live chat. Will tourism return to Japan at the same level as it did in 2019? Already, I can see that there are several hurdles. Got your palm. I'm going to come back here. Don't worry, I'm just going to circle back around here. There are a lot of reasons why tourism might not return back to Japan. And the first one on our plate to discuss, are people still really upset, angry about 2.5 years of not being allowed to come to Japan? I remember the hatred, the anger, the frustration was there. And it was very real. And so I don't know how quickly people forgive Japan, but I know a lot of people went to Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Taiwan, so many other places in Asia instead of Japan because they just couldn't. Some people stopped their interest completely in Japan. So do you think that those people that were really frustrated, they have short memories and they come back anyways? I kind of get the feeling that that might be the case. I don't know. But the indicator will be 2023, and we won't know until then, or possibly between now, October 2022 and October 2023, the numbers will tell the story. If we pass 30 million, then yes. If we don't, then no. But there are other factors involved here. The second thing on our plate to discuss, and welcome Daisy, you caught me live as I look like Abe Lincoln. I'm trying to be polite with the mask, but I don't like everybody else want to wear it, as long as I stay away from people, which is hard here. The second thing on our plate to discuss, the cost of coming to Japan has never been cheaper. I'm talking about the exchange rate, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it's 148, almost 149 to the dollar. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but overnight it jumped another yen up. It's crazy. If it breaks 150, I gotta tell you, you better change some yen and get your butt over here. It's just so cheap. Number 3, and related to number 2, airfare to Japan has spiked. A lot of this isn't just because Japan has become a more popular destination. A lot of it has to do with fuel costs also spiking and so much uncertainty in the market. Another reason why the yen is actually, which is weird, usually that's a safe haven, but not anymore. The dollar is much stronger because only the US is raising interest rates and Japan is not, which is crazy, but it's not because Japan wants inflation because they haven't had it in a long time. So this is a great way to do it. That's why they're not raising the interest rates. They want inflation. They don't want people to save their money, but at the same time, the exchange rate's hurting, so it's kind of a balance. Flights to Japan are high. They spiked about 30% really quickly, so those that got the flights earlier locked in the prices. I think I smell Mr. Donuts. Aki and Keiko are waiting for their airfare to drop. I'm not sure when that's going to be, though. Let's discuss this for a minute. I don't know when the airfare is going to actually drop because of the war that's going on, because of the problems with oil production. Well, the desire not to increase it, but decrease it. Oil prices are set to rise, and inflation is set to, well, everyone's talking about a recession, or some people even going further than that. I don't feel that, but I think Japan is something of a unique situation where prices never really rise that much, but Japan is a country that is very dependent on the outside world for things, for parts. And when those go up, everything else has to go up too, right? That's funny because this steak place is closed. Didn't expect that. Whoa! Tsukubo moved in here? That was the building with the hamster tubes in front of the station that went out of business, and I guess they moved it over here. Sean 808, thank you. And I see Brandania is calling for some donuts. Shout out to Irvan. He gave me something to get a cream brulee donut, and I cannot disappoint him. Promise is a promise, buddy. So I'm gonna, I don't know if Irvin's here, I'm gonna go and get that donut, and we're gonna end the live stream there. What the heck is this? Yes, please. That doesn't look healthy, but are those quail eggs or hot dog ends? And is that a big chunk of bacon? No, that's just pork. There's a difference between pork and bacon. It's a slathered bacon pork thing on top of some bean sprouts, which is on top of some rice maybe? Or is that ramen? Oh, it's ramen. What? That looks both nasty and delicious. And of course the fire, or otage. I don't know if that's otage. It makes this look pretty interesting. Where exactly is this? So I have to make sure I avoid that area, because I will end up killing myself with that ramen. Oh my gosh. So the airfares, I don't see how they're going to be going down, but if they do, that could raise the tourist numbers quite high, quite frankly. But my point is, though, that if the costs inside of Japan are so ridiculously cheap right now, and it's 150 yen to the dollar, and you're saving so much money with that, doesn't that offset the flight prices? Doesn't that offset some of the ticket cost? If you wait and the price of the yen drops by 30%, doesn't it balance out anyways? Because you'll be spending way more money than you would have if you came right now. So I think that there's an economic way to look at this, and you have to sit down with your significant other, your family, or your kids, or yourself, your friends, and discuss that, because it is certainly something that you have to keep in mind. Now, if the price of the flight is doubled to 1,000 yen, and you're going to save that amount of money because of the 150 to the dollar exchange rate, I mean, you got to consider that. There's a maid over there. Why is your video quality still so bad when other streamers get 1080p? Because I'm using the YouTube app. I don't compare myself to other streamers. I'm more interesting, maybe. I'm also in a crowded area. That's why I'm moving this direction. 720p is good enough. I refuse to wear a backpack. Bring your criticism. Spray it on me. Just stand 5 meters away. Criticize the quality of the live stream. Do it now. Get it out of your system. You know, it always gets better. But I'm not gonna wear a backpack or have a computer attached to my skull. Insert microchips in my brain. It's not gonna happen. The fourth thing that we can discuss is whether or not people want to come to Japan or not. Right now, a lot of people are wearing masks, and there seems to be this super counter mask culture. People just don't want to wear it. Even the ones that don't even feel like you're wearing a mask, people just won't do it. So I'd say about 10% of the people who watch this show are so anti-mask that they're waiting for Japan to drop a quote-unquote mask mandate, which doesn't exist. There is no mask mandate. And the Prime Minister, Kishida, has not been wearing his mask around in public. So he's trying to give a confusing message to the Japanese people not to wear the mask. However, the mixed signal is that when they opened up the border to unrestricted tourism again, just opened it up, Japanese don't compare to other G7. All right, maybe you do, but Japanese don't compare their country to other G7 nations. Other G7 nations are doing it this way. We don't think like that inside of Japan. We think of what Japan wants. and Japan didn't really want to open up the borders. A lot of people, not right now. It was kind of a mixed thing. I don't think Prime Minister Kishida had a choice. So he's in a tough position. He's got to show that for the last 5 months, he's been telling people not to wear masks outside. You only wear it indoors, certain areas. The criteria were pretty clear, but people still wear it by themselves, driving in their car or walking the street and there's nobody around. They still will wear masks just because they feel guilty if they don't. There's lots of reasons why people wear masks. There's no pollen in the air right now that I know of. But I think if you're waiting for people to stop wearing masks in Japan, that's never going to happen. They were wearing masks before, they'll be wearing masks after. But I still think that if you're coming to Japan, you should be polite and consider the other people's feelings. Nobody knows who the heck you are. You're a stranger. You dress funny. You look funny. I'm talking about myself. It's true. And I'm not insulted, but I understand how other people feel, and it's a good thing to wear like one of these or something. It makes people around you feel comfortable, and it's a polite thing to do, I think. Where do you wear masks? Crowded spaces. Subways, indoor locations, restaurants when you enter, and then take it off when you eat. I know it doesn't make any sense, but people just do it. The one thing I learned about living here for 25 years in Japan, rules are rules. I mean, you can break them, and they could be unspoken rules, but you just go along with it, and then you find loopholes within it. Like, enter the restaurant with a mask and take it off when you sit down. That's what everybody does. I don't know what the big deal is. I'll just put that out there. But I don't particularly, I'm not particularly happy about having to wear a mask after going to the US and not having to wear a mask, if you catch my drift. So that was one of the things that's a hurdle for people to return. That's not going away anytime soon. Number 6, ever-changing policy shifts in the immigration policy. Will Japan, if you book a flight, will Japan go backwards and close again? The answer to that is probably, most likely, 99% not. Of course, we don't know what's going to come down the pipeline, and we can't say that any country won't close for sure. We don't know what's out there, but I don't think it's going to happen. We had the worst wave of Omicron in the world, and Japan did not shut down for that. So I'm guessing that we're never going to be in the same situation that we were at in 2020, at least not for a while. And Japan, you can't just open the border and then close it again, although they did that in last November, which is crazy. But hey, here we are today. So let's discuss all those things. What do you think in the live chat? How do you feel about that? Are you thinking of coming to Japan? Anyways, will you defy your feelings of 2.5 years of being, I don't know, not laughed at, disrespected? Will you decide, and now that Japan is open, that you'll come back and your hard feelings will do you still have hard feelings? I kind of want to know. Andres writes in tomorrow. Anna writes in coming in March. Julian writes in Singapore wears masks. Andres is coming here tomorrow, so apparently people are going to be back here really quickly. Art Chong is here, 89. I'll be in Japan from October 31st to November 16th. As a detour as I return to New York from Malaysia. You can do that now. You can stop over. That's really cool. And then Haneda to JFK, both non-stop flights cost me under $600 on ANA. What? Business class was $2,800. I don't think all the routes are I think, all right, that could be a secret thing. If you're flying from one country to the other and it's not directly stopping in Japan, I wonder if the price is cheaper. If you're flying to Singapore via ANA and make a stopover in Tokyo, is the price cheaper? That's interesting, right? I never thought about that. So the question still remains, though. I mean, now that we know Andres is coming, hey, and Archong is coming, and a bunch of other, Eric's coming in December, you know, will any of these things stop you from coming in 2023? Or have you just given up on Japan, and why are you watching the show if you did? I think everybody who's watching this show is still pretty much interested in Japan, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say. might be a good idea to use those miles that expired. You know, ANA kept extending my miles too. That's another thing. I have a bunch of miles. I thought they would expire because I didn't really fly that much, but ANA kept extending it, which was really nice of them. JAL is another airline that had some trouble right before the pandemic, and hopefully they've rebounded okay. That they're usually pretty good as an airline. Yeah, masks indoor are fine. Outdoors, try to get away with it. Yeah, you know, people are still going to wear them outdoors here in Japan. But I see more and more people not doing it. The situation right now is good. But if it starts to spike, I think that's also another thing to consider, right? There's talk now in the Japanese media that in December there's going to be another spike, just based on the waves that we've had in the past. And if that happens, probably there'll be a return to masks in Japan. It's just, you know, I mean, more rigid. You see people wear it more. That's why the confusing message is similar to what happened with the CDC telling people not to wear, that they could stop masks, and then all of a sudden they said, please wear your masks again. You're always going to have this one eye on the news, on what's happening, and another one on the actual on wearing that mask, the situation. So just have one in your pocket. Just have one in your pocket. That's pretty I don't see too many people wearing geita in the city like that. That's pretty impressive. Is she gonna walk down the steps? No, she's not. That's an elevator. Okay. I was gonna say. A lot of respect. That's not easy to do. Andre says, I'll follow what the Prime Minister's doing. I think, though, that there's going to be a little bit of resentment. All right? I think there's going to be a little bit of resentment from Japanese in the beginning. So the first 2 months are going to be kind of hard. I already know that there's going to be tourists who just decide not to wear a mask, get on the subway and talk too loudly and make people feel uncomfortable. And then people go to Twitter, take pictures of that and share it. And then there's going to be some sort of resentment. And then they'll be on the news, and then we'll be discussing this again. I think for the most part, the tourists that want to come to Japan, most of them that will spring for the airfare, really understand and probably would be considerate and wear the mask more often than not. But we will see what happens. I'm really curious about that. Number 7, I think we're on number 7. Another reason that people might not want to come back to Japan right away, Japan's not ready. Japan is not ready to come back. A lot of the hotels have gone out of business in the autumn, which is the high season. The middle to end of November is crazy busy in certain places that tourists love to go, like on Kyoto. It's very hard to get a hotel room because the domestic tourism is very strong then. And right now, domestic tourism has vouchers to travel. They're paying you inside Japan to travel. I get like 10,000 yen a day or something if I travel within Tokyo or something. I haven't really looked. Look at that. I think I ate that already in the live stream, right? The Sailor Moon Tsukimi burger. That's still here. So if you're in Japan, you get to eat that. Look at that egg. Whoa. So there's that. It's going to be really hard. If you're thinking of coming to Japan, you better book your hotel at least the first few nights in advance, because the last thing you want to do is to come here and not have a place to stay. A lot of the hotels, though, have closed or aren't ready for foreign travel. So I saw on NHK recently, especially out in the countryside, a lot of the English staff that were there. There were a lot of people that had work abroad permits and were coming. And you can see that's kind of a neat shot. The whole street, Chuo Avenue, shuts down. And you can cross the street. It's so wide here. Unless you don't mind the capsule. A lot of those capsule hotels are gone. That's what I'm saying. Like that, there's not the same volume of capsule hotels as there were before. A lot of them were from the Showa era, were questionable at best. People just didn't stay there. And over time, with the delays and lack of tourists who were making up a lot of the patronage as guests at these capsule hotels, they kind of went under. A lot of those places did. a lot of manga cafes shut down or suspended business as well, and I don't know if they've come back either. There's the Don Quixote that's quite famous there. So it's certainly an issue on whether or not you can get a room or book in a place that you still want to go. Oh, look at that potato. Man, pumpkin pie. You don't see that often here in Japan. All right, let's get off the main street. Airbnb, I think that they had some challenges before the pandemic with hotel associations telling Airbnb owners that you can't operate 365 days out of the year, and a lot of them had shut down because, well, nobody was coming. So I noticed a lack of Airbnb options. They might come back, but right now there aren't nearly as many as there were before. So that's an issue. Appa are open. That's true, and they've expanded during the pandemic. So I don't know. That's never my first choice. It's like a safe go-to, but there are times where even Appa is booked up, or it's not in a location that you want to go. I don't know, but I think though for the first few days you better have something booked in advance just for peace of mind, because we just don't know how the situation is gonna change over the next couple of months. I just don't think that Japan is ready yet, but you can't. There's no way really to get people ready. You just have to, I don't know, initiation by fire. Throw people in that situation and then evolve, because that's what happened with tourism. It just kept growing and growing and growing, and it evolved. Wow, look at the lines for some of the ramen places already. Wow, this is a Chinese restaurant that's popular. Oh, it smells so good, spicy in there. This is a Kyushu Jangara. What's Jangara? It's like that's the name of the shop. It's a ramen place. Oh my gosh, that menu looks heavenly. Street Shadow. I'll be back in Japan back in January. Half work trip, half vacation. Booked hotel was tough, even with my corporate rate. Lucky to grab my usual hotel in Shinagawa. Exactly. I think for places that people want to stay and nobody really wants to stay, that ramen looks awesome. Look at that. Look at the hot and spicy in English. Fried garlic oil. Mild tonkotsu soup, which is a very rich pork broth. Oh my. Nice. These dontekis are getting real popular all over the place as well. Obviously not good for your cholesterol. That's an issue. It's not for me that I know of. Trying to stay healthy. All right, how many was that? Number 7, number 8. We got a lot of things to examine. What other reasons might not tourists return to Japan? Did I miss anything? I think I hit them all. Street Shadow, thank you for that. I want to thank everybody. And King Wong. Hey King, I remember I just did your postcard, and that was in the group going out there. It's on the way, buddy. I'll be back on the 9th of November. I hope the postcard arrives first for 2 months in Japan. Maybe I'll be able to give you the postcard like in person. That'd be pretty cool. I'm still gonna send it to you. I think I like the postmarks on the postcards. That's awesome. I'm gonna be so happy, King, when you get here. Wow, look at this. This is a 100 yen shop that's opening up in this brand new building. Can-Do is Daiso's competitor. So those shops that shut down, they're starting to have new tenants come in there, and it's very interesting to see who they are. Here's a curry rice place. That looks really good. This is like a go-go curry platter type of dish. Look at that. Oh man. Yeah, Christian, all you have to do is look at the Kickstarter updates. There is an email address. Just use it and contact me. Nothing I could do in a live chat. Actually, there are some people who just got the postcard. I don't know why it was so slow. Some countries are just getting them now. Australians got 2 postcards on the same day. Like they came, the Kickstarter and last month's postcard. I don't know why, it was weird. But mail's, I'm guessing that mail will pick up. I guess number 9 if there's another thing. Yeah, and Prism is one of the apps I guess I could try to improve the quality. I don't know. I don't particularly like third-party software. I think there's like a watermark on it that you can't get rid of, and I hate the. I don't like that so much. So number 9 would probably be that there's just not a lot of routes as well. Airlines, I thought, would be really quick to jump on the fact that Japan has opened up, but not a lot of airlines have done that. I've noticed that maybe the prices are high because there are a lack of routes in certain places. Well, check this out. So this is the machine that used to have the ramen. This used to have the ramen vending machine cans. Now they're just oden. And they have 2 kinds here. This is hot and that's cold up there. All right, let's go to the donut. I promised I would end this on a donut. I'm gonna do that. Across the street. Please enjoy a cold Reverend. Andrew, thank you. Let's do that right now. That was really nice. All right, this is Maid Cafe Alley. Typically, a lot of those maid cafes went under too, but I'm guessing that they're gonna come back. The thing is, as I'm walking around here for the last 27 minutes, I don't see a lot of foreign tourists, although it's hard to tell. I mean, how do you identify a foreign tourist? Oh. What?
Are you live streaming?
I am.
Okay, if you do stop each thing, I'll just say local. Your video is really helping out.
Oh, okay. Well, here you
I
go.
don't want to be on camera.
Oh, you don't want to be in the camera, sorry.
I knew you were
If
gonna
I
do
stop, I'm going all the way to Yodobashi Camera to
Okay, cool.
get the donuts
Okay, I'll
over
see you
here.
later.
Yeah,
Take that.
that's nice. So that number 9 could be a reason why people don't come. Just not enough routes. You can't get here the way that you want to get here. I think there might even be more routes to Seoul, Korea than there are to Tokyo. But I want to say this. The flights might be cheaper going to an airport that you don't want to go to. For example, if you really have your heart set on Haneda or Narita, Kansai Airport might be cheaper depending on the route. Or even Nagoya Airport, which is a very nice new airport. That might be cheaper and worth considering. And if you have a Japan Rail Pass, it doesn't really matter where your port of entry is. Fukuoka could probably be fine as well. So something to consider. You don't have to come in through the usual port. I was wrong. There were some tourists around here. I saw like 4 or 5 just come right out of Super Potato. That was fun. Yeah, we're back. It's not quite the same. All right, and number 10. This is cool. The Uber drivers have this window for KFC. They could pick it up right here from the Uber window. That's kind of a neat. This reminds me of the Dutch in Holland. They have this restaurant called Fable, where everything you can get these fried treasures out of a little window in a vending window. That's one of my favorite restaurants. Dutch, it's like, are you an idiot? You got better places than this, but let's have a beer and then we can come back. It was like Fabo, I think it was called. Oh, that was the coolest thing. They had that way back like 30 years ago. All right, number 10. The reason why we're not going to get back to 30 million tourists, as we did in 2020, 2019, is for the simple fact that China is not here. China's not here. They still have a zero COVID policy, and they made up about 70% of the tourists that were coming to Japan. Already they found, oh, that shop's still closed. That was a hobby shop, I believe, and now they're still kind of looking for a new suitor, a shop, company, whatever. That is prime real estate. That's right on the corner of the Denki Town, because I'm underneath the railway. Chinese tourists made up 70% of the tourists that came to Japan. You might not have always seen them, but they were there on tour buses, mostly package tours, which is when Kishida-san opened up. This is what was curious to me. When he opened up Japan to package tourists only, it should have been for, I guess he was thinking that, looking at the numbers, most tourists do come to Japan on package tourists, but that's because 70% of them are from China, which is not open right now. So there's an issue with the kind of tourists that were coming. Western tourists don't want to go on package tours, but they're the only countries, and neighboring countries. China is the only country that was one of the only countries that really leaned in on these package tours. So that's an issue. Now we are back to whatever tour you want, private, public. The only issue really for a lot of you right now is the majority of people is the flight prices and availability of hotels and accommodations. Akihabara, I know that a lot of the hotels did shut down. There were a lot of private businesses. We're going to that tall building in the center of the screen to get Irvin's donut, which I promised. A creme brulee donut. Oh my gosh, you're so good. I'm looking for a drink here. I think we can find him on the other side. Oh, hey! All right. How cool is that? So I guess we are back. So tourists are still visiting. So we're gonna go to the creme brulee place. I love walking through here because we can get an idea of. People are coming to say hi. AKB 48 is kind of decimated. You can see here, this used to be the AKB 48 and Gundam Cafe. Now it's the Yamashi Nation store, which is, I don't know what the heck it is. Let's go check it out. So in order for us to get to, here's Akihabara station. In order for us to get to the other side, we got to go underneath the rail line. Ryan C., thank you. You're an invaluable source. I'm one of many. I'm happy to be. I'm just happy that you guys are watching. Share the experience. For me, mostly this channel is about sharing an experience of being a visitor here in Japan. Sharing experience traveling around Japan. And I'm always getting around the country. I was in Kyushu for a week, in Hokkaido for like a month over the last couple of months. It's kind of neat to show you new parts of the country. It's just a shame that I'm in Tokyo because, I don't know. A lot of people are moving to Japan. I would say don't move to Tokyo. Everybody, if you're going to be a YouTuber, don't move here because it's just covered so much by everybody. I don't think there's a lot of you. I think every place has been covered 100 times and then some. If you want to live somewhere, go to Nagoya or go to Osaka or go to Fukuoka or Kyushu or something, I think. Because I'm certainly thinking about it. I'm not sure what the value to being in Tokyo is, except that I can get on a flight or a Shinkansen and be almost anywhere in the country real fast. It's a really great hub for me living here for what I do. But if you're going to be a YouTuber that just covers your area and you're not traveling all the time, Tokyo is kind of like an overdone place. I don't know. Kyoto as well. So let me ask you this while you're all here. Where would you suggest for retirement, John? Gosh, I can't suggest that. Florida? I don't know. Okinawa? I don't know. Let me ask you this. Are you tired of videos about Kyoto, about Tokyo? What are you craving? What kind of content are you looking for? Now that Japan has returned, there's a bunch of YouTubers that have come to Japan. They're all doing like the same stuff that we've been doing for the last 2 years. like, it's just funny to see other foreign YouTubers going to Shibuya covering the same thing that's been covered a million times. I like to find something that hasn't been done before for the main channel episodes, and the live streaming can, it's live, so anything can happen. Kyushu or Central Japan, writes in Ryan. Nagasaki, that's interesting. Disabled Gamer JH. What are the most underrated and overrated areas of Tokyo? That's easy. First of all, I'm not gonna rate it. I don't think that underrated and overrated is a personal preference. I'm so different than all of you because I live here. I've been in Tokyo since 2004. I moved here. I was living out in the countryside for the first 7 years, 6-7 years of my time in Japan. I was in the countryside. And then the last almost 20 years here in Tokyo. So I avoid places that you would love to go to. Shibuya's Hachiko Scramble. I try to avoid that, like the plague. I can make this light. I'm with that guy. I'm not ashamed. So, what are the most overrated places? I don't know. I think Harajuku has become too touristy. They've lost their identity. It's starting to look like Disneyland, like a theme park instead of an authentic place. It's lost some of that authenticity. Nakano is a kind of a neat place to go around. I don't think that they've lost their authenticity on that side over there. Kichijoji is pretty cool to stroll around. There's a ton of places. There's just too many. I always said if you're going to be in Tokyo, go to a place like up in Edogawa where I used to live. What is that town called? Shibamata. Yeah, Shibamata is like a little. It's such a cute little street in the Shitamachi area. It looks like the old Showa feeling. It's so awesome. Loads of street food there, especially on the weekends. They put the telephone lines, power lines under the ground, so it's so much cleaner than it used to be. And there's not that many foreign tourists. It's a really unique experience. Shibamata is a place that I think in Tokyo, not a lot of tourists will go to. Of course, Yanaka is pretty cool too. I just like walking around this area, and you can feel Tokyo. I don't feel that as much in this central area, to be honest with you. I prefer the places. I do love these hydrogen fuel cell buses. These are everywhere now. You can get these as Tomikar, which are like matchbox cars, and they're kind of neat. Yeah, it's so debatable. Maybe that's what we'll do in another live stream. We're gonna look at some of those places that might be overrated, and let me see if I can get another YouTuber or another friend to join me, and then we'll have a debate that way. That might be more fun. Sweets Paradise is gone with the sushi cake, and in its place is this new restaurant here. But I'm gonna jump over here and get that creme brulee donut really quickly because Irvin, my promise, Irvin's not here, but somebody tell him that I did get it. I like to think that I eventually fulfill all of my promises. その焼き芋ブルーレイドーナツをお願いします。はい、お願いします。はい。Wow, did you see that? It's like a potato cream brulee donut. They've added in potato. So Irvin, this is next level. The highest level. And they have some Halloween donuts. Arigatou gozaimasu. Check it out, too. Look at the Halloween donuts. I thought that was a ghost. That is a ghost. Whoa! Look at this one. Oh my gosh. Is that the Cookie Monster? Oh, I should have gotten that one. Well, I guess you guys can get that one if you come to Japan. This place is great. They got some really amazing donuts. This one is like the yaki sweet potato cream brulee donut. So Irvin, I've upgraded. I know Irvin's not here. I'm just saying he's a good guy. He'll be in Japan. I got a tripod right here. Hold on a second. Let me get. I'm gonna get a drink here. There you go. And here's a nice hot drink. Check this out. So they got canned coffee here. I turned on the heater. Hold on. Alright, this one was 200 yen. This is a Georgia Godiva coffee. Godiva is like the really crazy expensive. It says, hold on, 180 yen. I got 20 yen back. I put in 200 yen. That's pretty crazy. So, there's this here. Let me just find a place to eat this. Godiva coffee, that's crazy. Alright, let's try this donut. All live streams should end with something sweet. A joke or something delicious. This is weird. This is weird. This is the same cream brulee donut. There's the Tohoku Shinkansen going by. What? What do you think? Wow. It's definitely different. I think I prefer the regular one. I prefer the regular cream brulee donut. It's a little bit too much. There's like some sort of weird raspberry action going on. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. I'm gonna put that in my pocket for later. It's not bad. It's just maybe there's too much flavors going on there. Just a little bit much. All right, let's try this Godiva coffee. Remember when you were a kid in the 1980s and we had these scratch and sniff stickers? Do you remember the scratch and sniff stickers? And there was a chocolate scratch and sniff sticker and it didn't smell like chocolate, but it had this weird like this weird bitter bacteria sweetness. I can't, like, it smells like bacteria sweetness. I don't know, I can't. It tastes fake, like a scratch and sniff chocolate taste, and there's this weird. I don't know other way to say it. It's like maybe because when I was a kid, I learned the word bacteria and I associated it with the chocolate sticker. Yeah, it's got this weird scratch and sniff chocolate sticker aftertaste. It's the aftertaste. Bacteria chocolate. Did I say that? Is that a thing? It's worth trying once. It goes good with this donut. Sometimes it's better just to stick with the good olds, the things that you know. Oh. Did you shake it first? It's better. Oh! Good call. It doesn't say to shake it though. It's less bacteria more smoother. Yeah, you're right. Keep that in mind. For 200 yen, or 180 yen, someone should shake it for you. It's better. It's smoother. It's better. It's still got like a scratch and sniff. Still got a little bit. It doesn't say to shake it, does it? It says it's got coffee odor or smell to the chocolate. I don't know. I still drink it though. You see anything worth getting? I'm always looking for the doorbells. No. There's a stamp. No. Nothing interesting. Yeah, they have these doorbells. You just push the bell and it makes a doorbell sound. And they got like a collection of 5 different doorbells. kind of a different ringtone. Like retro doorbells. Oh boy. So that was good. That's what it's like hanging out with me. Who's coming? Reason number 11. Why aren't people coming to Japan, or why won't they return? Because I'm here. And they don't like only in Japan. But we know that that can't be that true. A little bit. A little bit. All right, everybody. That hit the spot. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Irvin. Whoever you are, buddy. And thanks all of you for joining me. This is kind of cool. Look at these cute velociraptors. Are these... Who watched Jurassic Park? What's that dinosaur? No. What a... Nothing interesting. I don't think Leo would like any of these because he's too small and he'd eat those. The doorbells he likes. He doesn't put stuff in his mouth except his hand, you know. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. This was a lot of fun, and I'll be back tomorrow. I think a midnight snack run is in order, but I'm going to be doing something with Patreon. I want to do a once a week a video on Patreon that's more to taking a lot of your questions. And I don't know if I'm going to... now that the Japan travel update is over, you can't count down when Japan's going to open up again. So I want to do something new and different. And it's just so smooth to see that Tohoku Shinkansen coming in, isn't it? Look at it. Oh man, that's like the future. That's Tokyo right there. Wow. So we're gonna be doing more stuff on Patreon. I'm gonna do an edited update for the Samurai supporters and have more things over there. But I'm thinking, once a week doing a live stream as a Q&A, like on a Saturday night or Saturday morning or something, because I know that I'm not gonna do travel updates anymore because we all know that Japan's open. But now it's more about planning your trip, and people are continuously asking me, where's the best place to go? Where's this? And I think in collaboration with our Discord community, because we have I don't know, was it like 15,000 people on our Discord server? We have a really great community to answer a lot of these questions, and using the features of the Discord community, like call-in availability, I'm thinking of doing a once a week live chat Q&A that's, you all know the time of and can join me. That's convenient, because I know the schedule's kind of erratic here, but if we can do that, that might be something that is a lot more useful to you, because I want the show to be something that's useful for people that are coming to Japan and to be able to share the information. The Discord server right now, we've got dozens of people that are already in Japan that are sharing the pictures of their trip. So if you need ideas, there's a trip and a travel community within our Discord server. You can go there and see what's happening live, quite a lot. So I'm really happy with how our server has grown, and we're now a Discord partner, which is really cool. And they sent me a sweatshirt, which is even cooler. So I should wear that. Once it gets a little cooler, I'll have a Discord sweatshirt on. But it's a cool platform to be able to communicate back and forth with you. So I'll be utilizing that into the live streams as well. So you can send me your ideas if you like too. But thanks everybody. This is fun. I'll be back tomorrow for another live stream, and I got to go home and edit now because there's a lot to edit. There's a lot to edit. I'll be in Okayama, I believe, sometime in November, and I'll be in. I'm gonna be traveling quite a bit, so I gotta take advantage of the time that I have to finish some editing and get the main channel back up to speed. Some shorts coming as well. But thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Another live stream around this beautiful city in Tokyo in glorious 720p or higher. We'll see what happens. Bye.